Good morning. I'm going to talk you through the agenda briefly here through a screencast. Please meet in your grade level bands to go through this. Okay. By the next PLC, teachers will have reflected on their practice personally in order to help students of a diverse body. So one of the things that I need you to talk about with your grade bands is if we could move the next PLC to potentially the 26th or another Monday, Wednesday, or Friday so that Mr. Rathburn and I can participate with you together. We'd like to be able to meet with grade bands. So talk about that with your group and let Anita know, and then Anita, I can coordinate with you. Okay, so you can pretty much work through this agenda in your groups. I'm going to jump down right now to number 4. You can pause me if you'd like to do your opening prayer and shout outs and celebrations with your grade band. Number 4, expectations. John and I would like to see you circulating or sitting with students if you're sitting down. Please do not be passively monitoring from your desk. In particular, during guided practice or group work, it's one thing to have kids sitting at your desk with you or to be facilitating work, learning with them in another part of the room, but please do not just sit at your desk. Number 2, positive communication home. If you can talk about some easy ideas for implementation in your groups, that would be awesome. Let me know how I can help support that so that we can bolster our positive behavior incentives for kids and be communicating to home. This could be something as easy as little postcards that the office could help provide. We could call School Speak and try to come up with a positive form of an incident report type of thing that's positive, phone calls, whatever it is. Come up with some ideas in your group because it is John and I's expectation that we increase our positive behaviors. Okay, tardies policy as outlined in the newsletter 2 weeks ago, the history of all that. I hope if you read, is outlined below. Where we need your help is under C, Roman numeral 1, at 2 slips. Okay, so you have 2 for a kid, 2 unexcused being the key. We need you to send those to the office so that we can file electronic communication home in the form of an incident report. We will handle that, but you need to send it to the office at 2. At 3, send it to the office again, and that's when a letter goes home, as in years past, stating that there will be further consequences. Once the child gets to 4, okay, all of this is within a given quarter, there will be a tardy work session in the detention room and conference is deemed appropriate. Tardy work session in the detention room is the language that's been approved by the pastor and discussed with the advisory board. So that's the language we will be using. Uniforms, you can read that. The one thing I'll say under uniforms 2A, Mr. Oppenheimer set a precedent in particular with the upper hall young ladies regarding vans from the start of the year. I'm not going to fight the battle of vans at this point because they went to Mr. Oppenheimer and he permitted that. Conferences have been rescheduled for Thursday the 20th. Use the sign-in, sign-out sheet when you are done with your meetings so we know when the building is closed. Okay, I'm going to jump to number 6. Again, you're going to talk in your grade level bands about if it would be possible to move the PLC, the next one for this month, even if we have to push into March a little bit, to a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday so that John and I can meet with teams together. Let Anita know. For the remainder of the time today, you can start a little reflection prompt tied to our mission. It's something I'd like you to have done by the 25th. I will not be collecting it, but it is something where you're going to think as a reflective practitioner. I'm looking for quality, not quantity on this, and that is posted to Google Classroom. So you can feel free to start that today and just work on it a little bit at a time. Please don't feel that you need to stay past time today, but that's something personal for you to write, and we'll use that at our next PLC. Other items on the agenda, you can read the month at a glance. One reminder from the start of the year, during Lent, we will have K-3 stations from 12:45 to 1:15 on Fridays, 4 to 8 stations from 1:30 to 2:15. Okay, so those classes that have like an 8th period special or science lab or something scheduled, remember that during Fridays during Lent, we are going to flip-flop period 2 with period 8 so that kids are not always missing the same class or the same special or whatever during that time. Okay, so I encourage you to get on to Google Classroom and look at that as you have a chance, and go ahead and finish with closing prayer. Thank you.